After it is open, then I will take snap. Okay, sir. I am just taking the snap. Okay, sir. You start your program, sir.
Okay,
Thank
okay.
you, sir. Thank you.
Uh, Good afternoon to all the learners. And today, uh, uh, we have been allotted to discuss with the book 104. And in 104, you have four blocks. In four blocks, in the first blocks, you have Chaucer and Spencer. Thereafter, you'll have Shakespeare and Donne. Then uh, that poems topic uh, have been switched over to drama. You'll have Dr. Faustus of Christopher Marlowe and Macbeth of William Shakespeare. So let us start our discussion from William Shakespeare's drama Macbeth. Actually, William Shakespeare's drama that laid the foundation of drama in English literature. We know Shakespeare as a poet, as a dramatist, and he had written 34 dramas and 154 sonnets, and so many dramas. After 37 dramas have been discovered so far, the numbers will be not less than 40, right? But we are not concerned with that matters, but our matter is we are studying the drama of William Shakespeare. So, as the students of English drama, you should know William Shakespeare drama is something different from the dramas of other dramatists. How is it? So, as you know, drama is nothing but the reflection of society in terms of theater and action. Okay. In terms of theater and actions, the things taking place in your family, the incidents that is taking place in our society, in our surrounding. So they are written by the dramatist are the same thing, the same subject matters we find on the stage in terms of action. Okay. So if someone asks you that how drama is different from other branches of literature, then you will have one question. Drama has acts, first act, second act, third act, fourth act, fifth act. Act in Odia we say anka, pratham anka, ditya anka, tritiya anka, chaturtha anka, all like this. And every act is divided into number of scenes. Scenes means drushya, right? Prathama drushya, ditya drushya, like this. Every act, a drama has acts and scenes. But you may not have any acts and scenes in novel. You may not have acts and scenes in essays, in poems, in other branches of literature. It's a special qualities that we find with the drama, right? And the characters, they have dialogues. They they converse with each other. They talk with each other. They play their roles, right? So these type of things that we find in a drama, we have main plot and subplots. In drama, uh, we have that hero, heroine, villain, and other characters. So in Shakespeare drama, you find that drama moves with the theme. Along with the theme, main theme, another theme also move. Okay. And say, if you discuss about the tragedy and comedies of William Shakespeare, then we can divide the drama in many types, in many varieties. What are they? You have tragedy. Tragedy means the drama ending in tragic or in pathos, ends in catastrophe, and we find the important characters are died, and some sorts of unexpected things take place at the end of drama. That drama is called tragedy. जो ड्रामा जो नाटक दुखात्मक भाव दुखपूर्ण भाव परिसमाप्ति घटी थाए ताकू आमे ट्राजेडी बिली कही था बुझी होची ना नहीं द ड्रामा दैट एंड्स इन merry making happily with pleasure we say that drama comedy जो नाटक अति हस खुशी कटि थाए एवं दर्शक माने कर मन अनुसार परिसमाप्ति घटी था ड्रामार सेटा को आमे कॉमेडी बोली कहि था एवं आउ किछि ड्रामा अछि विलियम शेक्सपियर कर से ड्रामा गुडी को हस कांदर सम्मिश्रणर नाटक ताको आमे ट्रेजिक कॉमेडी बोली कहि था सेठी पैथोस अछि सेठी ट्रेजेडी अछि सेठी प्लेजर अछि मेरी मेकिंग अछि हैप्पीनेस अछि इमती गोटे मिश्र रागर नाटक गुडी को आमे देखि था एवं तापरे शेक्सपियर मध्य किछि ऐतिहासिक नाटक लिखिछन बुझी होछ ना नै ऐतिहासिक नाटक जो गुडी को जो विषय वस्तु गुडी को इतिहास को आधार करके हेई थाए ताको आमे ताको आमे कोन कहिताउ ना हिस्टोरिकल ड्रामा बोली कहिताउ किंतु ए चारि प्रकार ड्रामा आमे देखु विलियम शेक्सपियर कर ड्रामा वर्ल्ड रे आकु छाड़ी देले विलियम शेक्सपियर को ड्रामा को छाड़ी देले आउ गोटे प्रकार ड्रामा अछि दैट इज कॉल्ड एब्सर्ड ड्रामा एब्सर्ड ABSURD एब्सर्ड कहले उद्भट असंभव प्रकार ड्रामा गोटे अछि ता धरे काहे की घटना घटुची तार किछि माने न थाए जो कैरेक्टर माने कोन कहउथांती देयर इज नो मीनिंग द ड्रामा हैज नो सेंस द कैरेक्टर्स हैव नो सेंस द एक्सप्रेशन then there is no beginning there is no end this sets of some sorts of oddity or peculiarity absurdity that we find in absurd drama samuel beckett's uh, samuel beckett's it is waiting for godot okay the outsider this type of dramas of absurd drama that we find in english literature absurdity but our concern is to know about the things that we are going to discuss today it is tragedy of william shakespeare so in the drama of in the tragedy of william shakespeare we know that heroes are important in a drama बुझी होछि ना नाही ड्रामा रे नाटक रे हीरो मान होचंती मुख्य किंतु शेक्सपियर ट्राजेडी नाटक तांकर मुख्य ट्राजेडी जो गुडी हला जो चारिटी मुख्य गोटे को माना मैकबेथ गोटे ता धिरु हामलेट गोटे ओथेलो गोटे किंग लियर ए चारोटी ट्राजेडी होची गोटे मुख्य ट्राजेडी नाटक विलियम शेक्सपियर एवं जेते नाटक सब लिखिचंती सब नाटकर ट्राजेडी नाटक रे हीरो माने इंपोर्टेंट गुरुत्वपूर्ण किंतु तांका कॉमेडी गुडी करे हीरोइन गुडी को इंपोर्टेंट हीरो माने से माने देयर लेनिएंट देयर नॉट they are not so because all the affairs and situations taking not around the hero, rather everything is taking place around the heroine. If you take care of, if you take example of Midsummer Night's Dream, if you talk about Twelfth Night, you'll find that how the heroines are playing important role there. But here in tragedy, you'll find the heroes are most important. All the situations are taking place around the hero. So here, Macbeth, Macbeth is the hero of, Macbeth is the hero of this drama, Macbeth. Macbeth is a name of a person. Okay, and another thing before this drama, I would like to say you one thing that uh, uh, William Shakespeare maintained unity of action. Okay, unity of action, uh, unity of place, and unity of time. ତେଣୁ ନାଟକ ମାନଙ୍କରେ ଏ ତିନୋଟି କଥା କହିଲେ ଆମେ କଣ ବୁଝୁଛେ ବୁଝୁଛି ନା ନାଇଁ ଆମେ ଏ ତିନୋଟି କଥାକୁ କହିଲେ ଆମେ କଣ ବୁଝୁଛେ ନା ତମେ ଦେଖିଥିବ ଗୋଟେ ଡ୍ରାମା ଯୋଉ ସମୟରେ ଲେଖାଯାଏ ଠିକ ଏଇ ବର୍ଷ ଜାନୁଆରୀ ମାସରେ ଲେଖା ହେଲା ଡିସେମ୍ବର ମାସ ସୁଦ୍ଧା ସରିବ ଏଠି ୟୁନିଟ ଅଫ ଟାଇମ ଟାକୁ ମେଣ୍ଟେନ କରିଦିଆଗଲା ବୁଝି ହଉଛି ନା ନାଇଁ ଆମେ ଦେଖିବା ୟୁନିଟ ଅଫ ଟାଇମ ଟା ଅନେକ ସମୟରେ ମେଣ୍ଟେନ ହେଇନଥାଏ ତମେ ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଟେ sometimes you must have been watching the film and you are sitting in front of the screen and you are watching the film you find the hero was going to school along with his friends and uh, uh, after certain incident the hero remain absent and when the hero remain absent and the mic is announcing that after 25 years and you find the hero is running uh, from somewhere towards the scene so there is a unit of time is gapped unit of time is not maintained so when hero was studying in school we found the hero we have seen and come upon the hero but from 5 year to 25 years or 20 years gap and we again come upon the hero when he reached at the age of 25. What does it mean? If you ask questions because the proper time has not been maintained by the dramatist and this is called unit of time has not been maintained then what is that unit of time କହିବା କଥା ହଉଛି ଗୋଟେ ଆମେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଫିଲ୍ମ ଦେଖୁଛେ ଆରମ୍ଭ କରୁଛେ ଗୋଟେ ସ୍କୁଲ ଖୋଲା ହେଇଛି ସେଠି ସବୁ ପିଲାମାନେ ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି ତା ଭିତରେ ହିରୋ ଛୋଟିଆଟି ବକେଟ ନାକରୁ ପିଲା ହେଇକି ସେ ସ୍କୁଲକୁ ଯାଉଛି ଏବଂ ସେ ସ୍କୁଲରେ ତାକୁ ଗୋଟେ କିଏ ଧରିକି ନେଇଯାଇଛି କିଡନାପ ହେଇଯାଇଛି ତାପରେ କିଛି ସମୟ ପରେ ଅନ୍ୟ ସିଚୁଏସନ ସବୁ ଦେଖୁଛେ ସିନ୍ ଦେଖୁଛେ ତାପରେ କିଛି ସମୟ ପରେ ମାନେ ଆନାଉନ୍ସ କରୁଛି ଫିଲ୍ମ ଆନାଉନ୍ସ କରୁଛି ଯେ 25-25 ବର୍ଷ ପରେ ଦୀର୍ଘ 25 ବର୍ଷ ପରେ ତାପରେ ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛେ ହିରୋ ଦୌଡ଼ି ଦୌଡ଼ିକା ଆସୁଛି ଗୋଟେ ୟଙ୍ଗ ଲୋକ ହ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡସମ୍ ଚେହେରା ମାନେ ଚେହେରାରେ ସେ କେମିତି ଦୌଡ଼ି ଦୌଡ଼ି ଆକ୍ସନ କରିକି ଆସୁଛି ମୋର କହିବା କଥା ହିରୋ ଯୋଉ ସମୟରେ କିଡନାପ ହେଲା ଏବଂ ଯୋଉ ସମୟରେ ଆମେ ପୁଣି ତାକୁ ହିରୋକୁ ଭେଟିଲେ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ସମୟ ସୀମା ଭିତରେ ହିରୋ ସହିତ ଘଟିଥିବା କଥାକୁ ତାର ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକଟି ବର୍ଷ ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକଟି ସମୟ କେମିତି କଟିଛି କୋଉଠି କଣ କଟିଛି ସେ ବିଷୟରେ ଆମେ ସୂଚନା ପାଇଲେନି ତେଣୁ ଏଇଠି କଣ ହେଲା ୟୁନିଟ୍ ଅଫ ଟାଇମ ଟା ଗ୍ୟାପ୍ ହେଇଗଲା ତେଣୁ ଯେ ଡ୍ରାମାଟିଷ୍ଟ ସେ ୟୁନିଟ୍ ଅଫ ଟାଇମ ଟାକୁ ଠିକ ଭାବରେ ମେଣ୍ଟେନ କରିପାରି ନାହିଁ ସମୟଟା ଯୋଉ ସମୟରେ ଆରମ୍ଭ ହେଲା କନଜିକ୍ୟୁଟିଭଲି ଲାଗି 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 ଶେଷ ସମୟ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଆମେ ମାନେ ଷ୍ଟୋରିଟା ଏଣ୍ଡ ହବା ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ସେ ଘଟଣାଟା ଆମେ ଜାଣିବା ଦରକାର ତାହେଲେ ଆମେ ଜାଣିବା ୟୁନିଟ୍ ଅଫ ଟାଇମ ଠିକ ଭାବରେ ସମୟକୁ ଠିକ ଭାବରେ କଣ ଆରେଞ୍ଜ କରାହେଇଛି, ବିନିଯୋଗ କରାହେଇଛି। ଏବଂ ଦ୍ୱିତୀୟ କଥା ଆସିଲା ୟୁନିଟ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଆକ୍ସନ୍। ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛେ ଯେ ସପୋଜ ଗୋଟେ ହିରୋ ଆଣ୍ଡ ହିରୋଇନ୍ ବୋଥ ଆର୍ ଡ୍ୟାନ୍ସିଂ ଇନ୍ ଦ ଫିଲ୍ଡ, ରାଇଟ୍? When they dance, in the first or beginning of the two lines of the song, we find the hero in a kind of dress and heroine in type of dress, এবং they are dancing in one place. ଏବଂ after sometimes କିଛି ସମୟ ପରେ ଆମେ ପୁଣି ଦେଖୁଛେ ଯେ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଜାଗା, ସେଠି ହିରୋ ଗୋଟେ ଡ୍ରେସ୍ ପିନ୍ଧିଛି, ହିରୋଇନ୍ ଗୋଟେ ଡ୍ରେସ୍ ପିନ୍ଧିଛି। ପୁଣି ଗୀତର ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ପଦ ଗୀତରେ ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛେ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ନୂଆ ଜାଗା, ସେଠି ହିରୋଇନ୍ ଗୋଟେ ଡ୍ରେସ୍ ପିନ୍ଧିଛି, ହିରୋଇନ୍ ଗୋଟେ ଡ୍ରେସ୍ ପିନ୍ଧିଛି, ଏବଂ ଜାଗା ମଧ୍ୟ ବଦଳିଛି। ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ମାନେ ବଦଳିବା ଭିତରେ, ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ଚେଞ୍ଜିଂ ସିନାରିଓ ଭିତରେ, ସେଠି ଆମେ ୟୁନିଟ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଯୋଉ ପ୍ଲେସଟା ମେଣ୍ଟେନ୍ ହେଲା କି? ୟୁନିଟ୍ ଅଫ୍ ପ୍ଲେସଟା ମେଣ୍ଟେନ୍ ହେଇପାରିଲା ନାହିଁ। କଣ ୟୁନିଟ୍ ଅଫ୍ ପ୍ଲେସଟା ମେଣ୍ଟେନ୍ ହେଇପାରିଲାନି? ନା, ୟୁନିଟ୍ ଅଫ୍ ପ୍ଲେସଟା ମେଣ୍ଟେନ୍ ହେଇପାରିଲାନି ଏଇଥିପାଇଁ, ଯଦି ହିରୋ ହିରୋଇନ୍ ଗୋଟାଏ ଜାଗାରେ ନାଚୁଥାନ୍ତେ ତାହେଲେ ଆମେ ଜାଣିଥାନ୍ତେ ସେଟା ଗୋଟିଏ ୟୁନିଟ୍ ଅଫ୍ ପ୍ଲେସଟା ମେଣ୍ଟେନ୍ ହେଇଛି। ବୁଝିହଉଛି ନା ନାଇଁ? ଏବଂ ୟୁନିଟ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଆକ୍ସନ୍ କହିଲେ ଆମେ କଣ ବୁଝୁଛେ? ନା, ୟୁନିଟ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଆକ୍ସନ୍ କହିଲେ ଆମେ ବୁଝୁଛେ ଯେ ଗୋଟିଏ ଲୋକ ଗୋଟିଏ ରୋଲ୍ କରିବ, ଗୋଟିଏ ଲୋକ 3-4ଟା ରୋଲ୍ କରିବ ନାହିଁ। ବୁଝିହଉଛି ନା ନାଇଁ? ଗୋଟିଏ ଲୋକ ଗୋଟିଏ ରୋଲ୍ କରିବ, ଗୋଟାଏ ଲୋକ 3-4ଟା ରୋଲ୍ କରିବ ନାହିଁ। ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛେ ସମଟାଇମ୍ସ ଦ ହିରୋ ଇଜ ପ୍ଲେଇଂ ଦ ରୋଲ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଫାଦର, after sometimes the same hero is playing the role of hero. Sometimes we find the same hero is playing the role of brother of the hero. It means that unit of action has not been maintained. Neither unit of time, unit of action, and unit of place has been maintained by the dramatist. এই কথাକୁ ଆମେ ୟୁନିଟ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଟାଇମ୍ ଏବଂ ୟୁନିଟ୍ ଅଫ୍ ପ୍ଲେସ୍ ଏବଂ ୟୁନିଟ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଆକ୍ସନ୍ ବୋଲି କହିଥାଉ। ଏବଂ ସେକ୍ସପିୟରଙ୍କ ଡ୍ରାମା ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ପଢ଼ିବା, ସେତେବେଳେ ସାଧାରଣତଃ ଆମେ କଣ କରୁ ନା, ଗୋଟେ ମାନେ 4-5ଟି ପର୍ଯ୍ୟାୟ ଦେଇକି ତାକୁ ପଢ଼ିବା ଆରମ୍ଭ କରୁ। When we start reading the drama of other dramatists, we find the every page you come upon a new type of characters, and taking to the characters we ask question ourselves, we talk among ourselves, because we find problem to know about the characters. ଅନେକ ଡ୍ରାମାଟିଷ୍ଟ ଅଛନ୍ତି ଯୋଉମାନଙ୍କ ନାଟକ ଆମେ ପଢିଲେ କଣ ହୁଏ ନା, ପଢିବା ସମୟରେ ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ସିନରେ ଗୋଟେ ଲେଖା ନୂଆ ନୂଆ ଲୋକକୁ ଭେଟୁଥିବା, ଏବଂ ଆମମାନଙ୍କ ଭିତରେ ଗୋଟେ ଆଙ୍ଗଜାଇଟି ଆସିବ ଯେ ଏ ଲୋକ ସହିତ ଏ ସମ୍ପର୍କ କଣ, ଇଏ କୋଉଠୁ ଆସି ପଶିଲାଣି ପୁଣି। ଏମିତି ପ୍ରତି ପେଜରେ, ପ୍ରତି ସିନରେ, ପ୍ରତି ଆକ୍ଟରେ ୱି କମ୍ ଅପନ୍, ଯେତେ ଆକ୍ଟ ଥାଏ ସେ ନୂଆ ନୂଆ ଲୋକ ଭେଟୁଥାନ୍ତି। କିନ୍ତୁ ସେକ୍ସପିୟରଙ୍କର ତାଙ୍କର ନାଟକର ପ୍ରଥମ ଅଙ୍କରେ ଯେତିକି ଲୋକଙ୍କୁ ଆମେ ଭେଟିବା, ଯେତିକି କ୍ୟାରେକ୍ଟରକୁ ଆମେ ଭେଟିବା, ଶେଷ ସମୟ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ମଧ୍ୟ ସେଇ ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କୁ ଆମେ ଭେଟିବା। ବୁଝିହଉଛି? ନୂଆ ନୂଆ କ୍ୟାରେକ୍ଟର ଆମେ ଭେଟିବା ନାହିଁ। ତେଣୁ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାନ୍ସ ପାଇଁ, as we find a uniqueness in the writing of William Shakespeare's drama, this uniqueness, what is that uniqueness? The characters, those who play their roles in drama, they all present in first act, and the dramatist let the readers know, or let the audience know about every and each character and the relationship among them. This uniqueness we find in the drama of William Shakespeare. This is called exposition. This scene or this act is called exposition. Then after exposition, another point that comes up, that is called rising to action. Rising to action. Rising to action means, suppose when we watch a film, we find the hero and heroine sitting in the classroom. The lecturer is delivering his speech, and sometimes he is going to write something on blackboard. When uh, the lecturer is absent mind, when the lecturer is writing something else on the blackboard, so in this time the villain is throwing a cheat to heroine. Okay, and the hero had come upon this type of miscreation of the villain. Okay, when they come upon this sorts of miscreation of the villain, so uh, after class is over, we find the hero is reacting at the creation at the miscreation of the villain, and he threatens to the villain that don't do this sorts of mischief inside classroom when the teacher is teaching in class. The villain and his lieutenants, they are fighting with the hero, and the fighting is taking place in front of the heroine. So with the audience, we became very much anxious and interested to know the situations. So this is called rising to action. ବହି ଆରମ୍ଭରେ ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛେ ଏକ୍ସପୋଜିସନ ସିନ୍ ପରେ ରାଇଜିଂ ଟୁ ଆକ୍ସନ ଗୋଟେ ପଏଣ୍ଟ ଅଛି। ସେଥିରେ କ'ଣ ହୁଏ ନା ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛେ ହିରୋ ହିରୋଇନ ବସିଛନ୍ତି କ୍ଲାସ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ଟିଚର ଜଣେ ବ୍ଲାକବୋର୍ଡରେ କ'ଣ ଲେଖୁଛନ୍ତି, ଠିକ ସେଇ ସମୟରେ ଭିଲେନ କ'ଣ କରୁଛି, ଗୋଟେ ଚିଟ୍ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଡି ଫୋପାଡ଼ି ଦଉଛି କାହା ଉପରକୁ ନା ହିରୋଇନ ଉପରକୁ, ଏବଂ ଏ କଥାକୁ ଦେଖୁଛି କିଏ, ହିରୋ। କ୍ଲାସ ପରେ ଭିଲେନକୁ ଯାଇ କହୁଛି ତମମାନେ ଏଇସବୁ କାମ କରିବା ଉଚିତ ନୁହେଁ, ଯଦି ଏଥର କରିବ ତାହେଲେ ଆମେ ଟିଚରଙ୍କୁ କହିଦେବୁ। ତାପରେ ତା ଲେଫ୍ଟନାଣ୍ଟ ଭିଲେନ ଆସୁଛନ୍ତି, ତାକୁ ମାଡ଼ଗୋଳ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ମାଡ଼ଗୋଳ ହିରୋଇନ ଫ୍ରଣ୍ଟରେ ଚାଲିଛି, ଏବଂ ହିରୋଇନ ପାଇଁ ଏ କଥା ଘଟିଥିବାରୁ ସେ ହିରୋଇନ ଆସିକି ତାକୁ କ୍ଷମା ମାଗୁଛି କାହାକୁ, ହିରୋକୁ, ଯେ ମୋ ପାଇଁ ତମେ ଅସୁବିଧାରେ ପଡ଼ିଲ। ଏଇ ଯୋଉ କଥା, ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ସିଚୁଏସନଟା ଅଡିଏନ୍ସ ମାନଙ୍କ ମନ ଭିତରେ ଆସୁଛି, କ'ଣ ଆସୁଛି ନା ଗୋଟେ ଆଙ୍ଗଜାଇଟି ବଢୁଛି ଯେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ହିରୋ ହିରୋଇନର ରିଲେସନ ଇଜ ଗୋଇଂ ଟୁ ଗ୍ରୋ। And this is called, this point or this situation in drama of William Shakespeare is called rising to action. The first act is called exposition. The act is called exposition because all the important characters are introduced to each other, and the readers as well as the audience, they could know about the relationship among the characters. This thing that we find in exposition scene. Then we discussed about rising to action. Then after rising to action, the climax. And in the climax point, we find the relationship between hero and heroine has been developed a lot. And the relationship is going to be settled. But that things could not be settled due to interference of the villain. So villain is playing mischief role there. Okay. So this is called climax. This type of situation we see when we see we call that climax. ଆମେ ଜାଣିଛୁ ଯେ ହିରୋ ହିରୋଇନର ଡେଭଲପମେଣ୍ଟ ହେଇଛି ମାନେ a relationship, after sometimes they will get married to each other, but that is not allowed by villain. Villain will be punished, ବୁଝିହଉଛି ନା ନାଇଁ। ତେଣୁ এই ସମୟରେ ଆମ ଭିତରେ ଗୋଟେ ଶିଥିଳତା ଆସିଯାଏ ଏବଂ ଆମେ ଏକ୍ସପେକ୍ଟ କରୁ, we give all our support to hero and heroine, but we don't give any support to villain. villain ଆମର ଭାଇ ବିରାଦର ନୁହେଁ, କି ହିରୋ କି ହିରୋଇନ ସେମାନେ ଆମର କେହି ସମ୍ପର୍କୀୟ ନୁହେଁ, କିନ୍ତୁ ସେମାନଙ୍କର attitude, their relationship, that create a kind of anxiety in readers. So the readers, they wait for poetic justice. Poetic justice means when the good persons are rewarded or awarded and bad persons are punished. That is called poetic justice. And what is poetic injustice? It is a dramatic term that we find in English literature. And if the villain or bad persons are rewarded and good persons are punished, then this is called poetic injustice. And this is the common expectation that we find in Shakespeare's drama towards when after climax we come upon the situation and point that is fall in action. Fall in action means that we find the family of hero are interested to give their son marriage with the heroine, but the heroine's family is not interested to have this relationship with the poor person. So there is a conflict and there is a problem that we find which is going to be settled. But the heroine or the main actress is already ready to accept and to face all sorts of consequence if the hero agrees with her. And hero is ready to be eloped with the heroine is ready to be eloped with the hero. And this type of things is called fall in action. And after fall in action, the last situation or the last thing that we see, it is called anticlimax. Anticlimax ठीक जिनस कहले कौन तुम बुझुच ना anticlimax ठीक जिनसटा होची तुम घर पाखे गोटे ड्रामा होची गोटे नाटक होची यात्रा होची टिकेट सेल होची सब टिकेट बिक्री होची दुकान बाजार पड़ी 10 दिन खंड चलला एवं 10 दिन पर से यात्रा भांगी सब गला से सब तंबू फंबू भांगीदेले दोकानी सब उठे नहीं गले एवं तमें ता परदिन जाकि देखुच जे काउ माने सब केमिति बरा को खुंपुचंती कुकुर माने सब बरा को कामड़ी की माने कजिया लगुचंती जे यात्रा टिकेट सब उड़ी आसी तम गोडे छंदी ही होची पॉलिथिन गुडाक सब उड़ी के तम गोडे लागुची एवं कोडी सब मिठा दुकान बसतला ये सब सिचुएशन देखला परे तमे सबुदिन 10 दिन धरिकी जो माने ता धीरे मजी जाइथिला ता परदिन तमु खराब लाଗୁଛି and that is called anticlimax. It is a nostalgia because you cannot go back to that state and there is a complete end of the situations. And when in anticlimax in drama we find that the things are going to be finalized, all the relationship are going to be settled, the villain is going to be punished because the villain most of times have been caught by the police red-handed and he has been penalized and punished. But after that he has escaped from jail and he is trying to take revenge against the heroine and he is trying to kidnap the heroine. এবং ଆମେ ଦେଖୁଛେ ଯେ ବେଦିରେ ବସିକି ମ୍ୟାରେଜ ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେମାନେ ହଉଛନ୍ତି ଏଇ ସମୟରେ ଭିଲେନ ତା ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କୁ ଧରିକି ଆସିକି କିଡନାପ କରି ନେଇଯାଇଛି କାହାକୁ ହିରୋଇନ ଏବଂ ହିରୋଇନକୁ ନେଇଯାଇଛି ଏବଂ ହିରୋଇନକୁ ନେଇକି ମାନେ ତାକୁ ଗୋଟେ ଘରେ ରଖିଛି ତାପରେ ସେ ତାକୁ ମନ୍ଦିରକୁ ନେଇଯାଉଛି ଏବଂ ହିରୋଇନ କି ମ୍ୟାରେଜ କରୁଛି ହିରୋକୁ ମାନେ ତା ଲୋକ ପଠେଇ ମାରି ଦଉଛି ये जो टाइप रो एंडिंग टाकू एटा कोन हम कहंती ना कैटास्ट्रोफी बिली कहंती दिस टाइप ऑफ एंडिंग्स दिस इज बियॉन्ड द एक्सपेक्टेशन ऑफ द ऑडियंस because audience always expect that the hero and heroine they must marry to each other but as per the expectation if the ending is not taking place and the audience are found to be weeping देखुचे आमे ऑडियंस माने फिल्म हल रु बाहर फिल्म टा देखिक आखिर लुह गड़ेकी फिरुचंती एवं सेही कथाटा सब दिन पे मनुष्य मन रे रहिजिवो दैट ए मैन कैन नेवर फॉरगेट दिस सिचुएशन इन दिस लाइफ जीवन वी ऑलवेज फॉरगेट ऑल द हैप्पीएस्ट मोमेंट बट वी कैन नॉट फॉरगेट द ट्रेजिक मोमेंट ऑफ लाइफ मनुष्य सब दुखे रहिया को भलो पाए सुखे रहिया को भलो पाए ना एटा आमे को किंतु मनुष्य सुख खोजुता दुख भितर सुखटा जतबे आसे गोटे झलक परि आसे एवं से पुणी चली जाए एवं ए जो दुखर झलकटा जो माने सुखर झलकटा क्षणिक पे आसे मनुष्य सेतिक रे ही खुशी पाए किंतु आउ ताकू छाड़ी देले अवशिष्ट समय से दुखे रहिया को भलो पाए दुखटा ही मनुष्य को प्लेजर देता है सुख अपेक्षा तेणु ट्रेजेडी मनुष्य को सबु स्मृति रे साइति रखी था सुखटा को मनुष्य साइति बेसी रखी नता जो थे आम देखुचे आमको गोटे माने जोकर गोटे कौन जो हल्का जई आमको हसौची बुझी ना ना जोनी बेकर आमको हसौची गोटे कमेडियन आमको हसौची से हसटा आमर बेसी मन रहबन କିନ୍ତୁ ହିରୋ କରୁଥିବା ଆକ୍ସନ ଆମେ ଭଲ ପାଉଥିବା ଚରିତ୍ର ଉପରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ କ୍ଷତି ପହଞ୍ଚୁଛି ସେଇ ଘଟଣାଟା ଆମକୁ ବହୁତ ଦିନ ଯାକେ ମଲା ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ସ୍ମରଣ କରି ରହୁଛି। ତେଣୁ ସେଥିପାଇଁ tragedy is very appreciated by the audience than comedy. So this Macbeth is a tragedy of William Shakespeare. So all the four important tragedy that we have with us of William Shakespeare, that is Othello. Othello ହଉଛି ତାଙ୍କର ଗୋଟେ ଗୁରୁତ୍ୱପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଟ୍ରାଜେଡି ଏବଂ ତା ଇଏ ଏଠି ମାକବେଥ ଅଛି ଏବଂ ହାମଲେଟ ଅଛି, କିଙ୍ଗଲିୟର ଅଛି, ବୁଝିହଉଛି। ଏଗୁଡିକ ସବୁ ଭାରି ଗୁରୁତ୍ୱପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଡ୍ରାମା ୱିଲିୟମ ସେକ୍ସପିୟରଙ୍କର। So in this context, it is our concern to know, right, that how this drama is more important. Let me tell you about the important characters of the drama. First, the hero of the drama is Macbeth. Macbeth is a Scottish general. Try to understand. Macbeth is a Scottish general. इंग्लैंड रे गोटे जो स्कॉटलैंड बिली गोटे राज्य अच्छी से राज्यर राजा होचनी किंग डंकान। डंकान होचन से राज्यर राजा एवं माकबेथ होचनी ताकर एडमिरल जनरल। तांका सैन्य बाहिनी रो मुख्य सेनापति होचन के माकबेथ एवं माकबेथ तांको माने से होचनी स्कॉटिश जनरल एवं से होचंती मालिक कहार ताकू डंकान गोटे एरिया देइचंती ता ना होची ग्लामिस। से ग्लामिस रा से होचंती हेड बुझी होची ना नाही। एंड Macbeth is a very faithful person and trustworthy, praiseworthy also, in spite of all the personality that concern, that he is a very good character, man of good personality. But another things that I forgotten to discuss with you, that whenever William Shakespeare write a drama, he gives importance on prophecies, gives importance on super elements. शेक्सपियर ड्रामा रे आमे सबुबे देखिबा जे सबुबे से भूत प्रेत कथा उपरे गुरुत्व दउछन एवं भूत प्रेत को मनुष्य मानक भीतर को आनिकी बा स्वर्गर परी राजा इमान को सब आनिकी मनुष्य चरित्र मानक भीतर रखिकी से गोटे प्रकार घटना घटुथान एवं जिते विलियम शेक्सपियर जिते आमे ड्रामा पढ़िबा ऑलमोस्ट ऑल ड्रामा that describes and gives importance on prophecy, on supernatural elements. भूत प्रेत कथा को से गुरुत्व देन. And this Macbeth was a fine man, but he came upon three witches. Witch कहले कौन? WITCH, witch कहले डाणी. Macbeth होचन भल लोक, किंतु युद्ध करुवा समय रे से तीन जन डाणी का संस्पर्श गाँव सब डाणी भूत प्रेत चिरगुणी ये सब कथा डिस्कसन करती। यू मस्ट हैव बिट आइडिया अबाउट डाणी विच बिल ताको इंग्रजी रे कोन कहती विच एवं सेई मानक कथा को विश्वास करूची के माकबेथ। माकबेथ जते से मानक कथा को विश्वास करूची तार व्यक्तित्व बदली जाउची। ता मन भितरे से गोटे द्वंद्व भितर रहउची जो द्वंद्व को माने इंग्रजी रे गोटे टर्म अच्छी हामलेट रे से टर्म हामलेट व्यवहार करुची ता डायलॉग रे टू बी एंड नॉट टू बी कौन करी कौन न करी कोटा कले ठीक हबो कोटा कले भूल हबो एटा करबा उचित ना करबा भूल हबो। ये जो द्वंद्व भितर मनुष्य जते रहे से टर्म टा को ड्रामाटिक टर्म को आमे कहि थाउ इंग्रजी लिटरेचर रे टू बी एंड नॉट टू बी एवं ए टू बी नॉट टू बी डायलॉग टी कहार ना शेक्सपियर को हामलेट होची गोटे दीर्घ नाटक एवं से दीर्घ नाटक हीरो होचंती हामलेट। सी ए डायलॉग टी से कहिचन जा जो डायलॉग को हमें गोटे पोएटिक टर्म भाबरे इन मोस्ट ऑफ सिचुएशंस इन आवर डे टू डे लाइफ वी आल्सो यूज दैट व्हेन वी फाइंड इन प्रॉब्लम व्हेन वी फाइंड आवरसेल्फ प्रॉब्लम or in dilemma, that time we use these terms that to be and not to be. I am in to be and not to be condition. In I'm to be and not to be position. Okay. So Macbeth was a good man, but when he came upon three witches, they are talking ଗୋଟେ ମୋରଲ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡରେ ସେମାନେ ପୁରା ଅତି ମାନେ ଅତି ଖରାପ ଜାଗାରେ ଶ୍ମଶାନରେ ଗୋଟେ ଜାଗାରେ ମାନେ ଝଡ଼ ହଉଛି, ପବନ ହଉଛି, ବର୍ଷା ହଉଛି, ସେମିତିଆ ଗୋଟେ ଜାଗାରେ ସେ ବସିଛନ୍ତି, ବସିକି ମାନେ କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା ହଉଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ସେମାନେ ଆଙ୍କୁ ଦେଖିକି କାହାକୁ ମାକବେଥକୁ ଦେଖିକି ତାକୁ ମାନେ କଥା ଶୁଣିଲା ବେଳେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ମାକବେଥ ଇଜ ଗୋଇଙ୍ଗ ଟୁ ବି ଦ କଣ going to be the head of the Thane. Macbeth is going to be the head of the Thane. ଯେ ଥାନେର ସେ ମୁଖ୍ୟ ହେବାକୁ ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି और କଡର ର ମୁଖ୍ୟ ହେବାକୁ ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି। ଦେଖ ସେ ଏ କଥା ଶୁଣିଗଲେ କିଏ ମାନେ ମାକବେଥ ଏବଂ ତାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଆଉ ଜଣେ ଅଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗ ଯିଏକି ତାଙ୍କ ନାଁ ହଉଛି ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କୋ, ସିଏ ହଉଛନ୍ତି ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଆଡମିରାଲ ଏବଂ ଉଭୟ ସାଙ୍ଗ ହେଇକି ଯୁଦ୍ଧ କ୍ଷେତ୍ରକୁ ଯିବା ସମୟରେ ତିନି ଜଣ ଡାହାଣୀ ସେମାନେ କଥାବାର୍ତ୍ତା ହଉଛନ୍ତି, ବୁଝିହଉଛି ନା ନାଇଁ? ସେଟା ହଉଛି ଥ୍ରୀ ବ୍ଲାକ୍ ଆଣ୍ଡ ମିଡନାଇଟ୍ who plot mischief against Macbeth using charms, spells, and prophecies. Their predictions prompt him to murder Duncan, to order the death of Banquo and his son. Uh, these are the very mischievous things that we find there making conspirations against the king of Scotland, Duncan. ବୁଝୁଛି ନା ନାଇଁ? ଏବଂ ଏଇ ସମୟରେ ମାକବେଥ କଣ କରୁଛି, ଯେତେବେଳେ ଶୁଣି ତାଙ୍କ ପାଖକୁ ଯାଇ ପଚାରୁଛି ଏବଂ କହୁଛି କଣ ହ୍ୱାଟ ୟୁ ଆର୍ ପ୍ରିଡିକ୍ଟିଂ ନା ବିକଜ ୟୁ ଆର୍ ଗୋଇଂ ଟୁ ବି ଥାନେ ଅଫ କଡର, ତମେ ଗୋଟେ ମାନେ ଗ୍ଲାମିସର ତମେ ଥାନେ ହେଇଛ, ତମେ ପୁଣି ଥାନେ ହବ, ଥାନେ କହିଲେ ହେଡ ହବ କାହାର ନା କଡର ତମେ ପୁଣି ଥାନେ ହବ। ଏବଂ ଇଏ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଯାଇ ପହଞ୍ଚି ଯାଇଛି ରାଜପ୍ରସାଦରେ, ସେତେବେଳେ ରାଜା ତାକୁ ଡିକ୍ଲାର କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ଆଇ ଡିକ୍ଲାର୍ଡ ମାକବେଥ ଆଜ୍ ଦ ଥାନେ ମାନେ ଥାନେ ଅଫ କଡର, ତେଣୁ କଡର ତାକୁ ଥାନେ ଭାବରେ ଘୋଷଣା କରି ଦିଆଗଲା। ତାପରେ ମାକବେଥ ଭାବୁଛି ଯେ the thing that was professed and predicted by or foretold by the three witches, the things became true. ତାପରେ ତାଙ୍କ ମନ ଭିତରେ ସନ୍ଦେହ ଆସୁଛି, ବୁଝିହଉଛି ନା ନାଇଁ? ଏଇ ସନ୍ଦେହରେ ଶିଖୁଛି ତାହେଲେ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ସେମାନେ ଯାହା କହନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କ କଥା ହୁଏ, କାରଣ ଯେ there is a war in between ସ୍କଟଲାଣ୍ଡ ଆଣ୍ଡ ନରୱେ। ସ୍କଟଲାଣ୍ଡ ଆଉ ନରୱେ ଭିତରେ ଯୁଦ୍ଧ ଚାଲିଛି ଏବଂ ଯୁଦ୍ଧରେ ସିଏ ମାନେ ମାକବେଥ ଯେ ନରୱେ ଜିତିବା ପୋଜିସନରେ ଅଛନ୍ତି, କିନ୍ତୁ ମାକବେଥଙ୍କର ଏବଂ ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କୋଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ଯୁଦ୍ଧ କୌଶଳରେ ସେମାନେ ପରାସ୍ତ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ନରୱେର ସୈନିକ ମାନଙ୍କୁ ଏବଂ ଗୋଟେ ପରେ ଗୋଟେ ସୈନିକକୁ ସେମାନେ ଉଦ୍ଧାର କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ନା ତାଙ୍କ ସ୍କଟଲାଣ୍ଡର ସୈନିକକୁ ଉଦ୍ଧାର କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ରାଜକୁମାରଙ୍କୁ ସେମାନେ କିଡନାପ କରିକି ନେଇଯାଉଥିବା ସମୟରେ ତାକୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ସେ ଉଦ୍ଧାର କରୁଛି। ତେଣୁ ମାକବେଥଙ୍କର ଏଇପରି ଯୋଉ ଦୁଃସାହସକୁ ଦେଖିକି, ତାଙ୍କ ଯୁଦ୍ଧ କୌଶଳକୁ ଦେଖିକି ରାଜା ଡଙ୍କାନ ଡିକ୍ଲାର କରିଦଉଛନ୍ତି ମାକବେଥକୁ ଯେ ଥାନେ ଅଫ କଡର, ତେଣୁ ଦିଟା ଜାଗାର ସେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ମାଲିକ ହେଇଯାଉଛନ୍ତି ସ୍କଟଲାଣ୍ଡ। ତେଣୁ ସିଏ କହିଲେ ଆଚ୍ଛା ମତେ ଯୋଉ କଥା କହିଲେ ଡାଣୀ ମାନେ ଯେ ତମେ ଥାନେର ମାନେ କଡର ଥାନେ ହେବାକୁ ଯାଉଛ, ଏ କଥା ସତ ହେଇଗଲା। ତାପରେ ପୁଣି ଯାଇକି ସେ ଭେଟିଛି କାହାକୁ, ସେ ଡାଣୀ ମାନଙ୍କୁ ଭେଟିଛି ଏବଂ ସେ ଡାଣୀ ମାନଙ୍କୁ ଯେତେ ଭେଟିଛି ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ମଧ୍ୟ ତାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଅଛନ୍ତି। ଡାଣୀ ମାନେ ତାକୁ ପୁଣି କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ୟୁ ଆର୍ ଗୋଇଂ ଟୁ ବି ଦ କିଙ୍ଗ ଅଫ ସ୍କଟଲାଣ୍ଡ, ତମେ ସ୍କଟଲାଣ୍ଡର ରାଜା ହବ। And again Macbeth asked, what's about my friend Banquo? And they told, actually Banquo will not be the king of Scotland, but Banquo's uh, descendants, his any member of his family, they may be the king of Scotland in the future. Okay, and Macbeth discussed this thing with his wife, Lady Macbeth. Okay, Macbeth, he discussed all the things were being discussed with the three witches with his wife. Jaji, when I was coming back to palace, on the way, I came upon three witches. They professed me this thing. First, they told me that you are going to be Thane of Cawdor, and when I came back to this palace, I found the king confer me this crown of Cawdor. And they also professed that Macbeth is going to be king of Scotland. So they, when Lady Macbeth, the wife of Macbeth, she heard this thing that my husband was going to be king of Scotland, the greediness to become the queen of Scotland excited him a lot. ଯେତେବେଳେ ସେ ଶୁଣିଲା ତା ହଜବ୍ୟାଣ୍ଡ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ଡାଣୀ ମାନେ ପ୍ରୋଫେଷ୍ଟ କରୁଛନ୍ତି, ଡାଣୀ ମାନେ କହିଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ମାକବେଥ ସ୍କଟଲାଣ୍ଡର ରାଜା ହେବ, ସେତେବେଳେ ଲେଡି ମାକବେଥ କ'ଣ କରୁଛି, ତା ମନ ଭିତରେ ଗୋଟେ ପ୍ରକାର ଆଗ୍ରହ ସୃଷ୍ଟି ହେଇଛି ଏବଂ ଯୋଉ ଆଗ୍ରହକୁ ନେଇ ସେ ଉତ୍ସାହିତ ହୋଇ ମାକବେଥକୁ ଏନକରେଜ କରୁଛି ଯେ let us kill King Duncan. Let us kill King Duncan. And unless we kill King Duncan, you cannot be king of Scotland. But Macbeth is not ready to do this mischief as per the advice of his wife, Lady Macbeth. Because Lady Macbeth, it is the, you see, that how Shakespeare is exposing the inner quality of women, that women are very much materialistic, they are very much eager and interested for matter, gold, power, position. They are found very much interested for that. So Lady Macbeth, that represent the qualities and thoughts of all women characters. Okay, and Macbeth is found to be very human, and he did not want to okay. So the man who had given him a lot, who had declared him the Thane of Cawdor, and how could he kill? But actually, when the woman, if a man have if a man has a lot of affection and a likingness for a woman, then the man is trapped by the advice of the woman. So that happens in case of Macbeth. So Macbeth is found that how he became very much because he was not man himself is very much greedious one, and when he is advised, and most of times or all times he found that his wife is whispering in his ear that you please do this thing and be the king, because this is the chance. If you lose this chance, then you cannot be king of this state. So it is not that easy. The chance or opportunity comes once to the life of a man, and if it has come, and if you have been professed by the three witches, you are going to be king, and I am the queen of Scotland. You see, so Lady Macbeth, she is found to be very much villain, and she is prompting to her husband Macbeth to kill the king. And this is the problem lies here. And if you start doing a mischief, then all the mischief will follow one after another, so that your past mischief will be exposed, and you just cannot hide them from the eyes of outsider. So he is very considerate, he is very human, but he is not ready to do any mischief with the king who had given him a lot of things, who had given him prestige, who had declared him head of two places, and he half of the state of Scotland now is given to uh, because a very gifted place or very rich places were given to Macbeth to become the head and to rule over that two places. So some places, other places are there, but it was uh, the king who had declared his son to make the king of Scotland. And if the son of the king will be declared as the king or to be the king of Scotland, then there will be no chance of Macbeth. So Lady Macbeth uh, is prompting and whispering and making him ready to go against the old king of Corda or old king of Scotland, that you do something. So, these are the two characters. We come to know about hero, and the heroine is here, Lady Macbeth. Hero is important. All the situations are taking place around Macbeth. And the next character that we find, that are three witches, and three witches are not discussed separately. Simple, we know that three witches, those who are living in cemetery, in burial ground, and they talk with each other, they fly in the sky, they could live, they could land on the earth, they sit on the earth, and they discuss about the future of humanity. Then three witches are there. Then Bianco was the noble general. You see, whose children, according to witches, profess will inherit the Scottish throne like Macbeth. So Bianco thinks ambitious thoughts, but he does not translate those thoughts into action. In a sense, Bianco's character stands as a rebuke to Macbeth. Okay, since he represents the path, Macbeth chooses not to take a path in which ambition need not lead to betrayal and murder. In comparison of Macbeth and Banco, this is the thing that we find in between them. Actually, Banco, he became envious of Macbeth because Banco was present when three witches were discussing about the future of Macbeth, that Macbeth is going to be the king of Scotland. So Banco asked about himself, and three witches answered him that you cannot be the king of Scotland, but your son will be the king of Scotland. Because of this, Duncan became very much interested, and he thought, if Macbeth will be replaced, then my son will be king after old king Mr. Duncan. Then another character that we come upon, it is Macduff. Macduff হচ্ছে ଗୋଟେ Scottish nobleman hostile to Macbeth's kingship. From the very beginning, we also come upon this character, very noble gentleman and very loyal, and he does not want that anything should take place to the king. And very much, very often we find that this young man, this young soldier, he was very much careful of the king. Okay, so he always suspect the behavior of Macbeth. Then Next character that we come upon, Malcolm. Malcolm is the elder son of the King Dunkard, and there are Donald Ben. Donald Ben was the second or younger brother of Malcolm. Or King Dunkard had two sons. One was Malcolm, the elder one, and the younger one was uh, Donald Ben. So the King Duncan had already declared that after the war in between Norway and Scotland, uh, he will withdraw himself and he will place his elder son, Malcolm, on the throne of Scotland. So uh, then another character, that is Plains. Plains is the son of Banco. Banco ମାକବେଥ ପରି ଜଣେ ହଉଛନ୍ତି ଜେନେରାଲ ଏବଂ ତାଙ୍କ ପୁଅ ନାଁ ହଉଛି ଫ୍ଲେୟାନ୍ସ। ଏବଂ ମନେ ରହିଲା ନା ନାହିଁ, ଆଙ୍କ ମାଲକମ ହଉଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କର ବଡ ପୁଅ, ରାଜାଙ୍କର ବଡ ପୁଅ। ଡଙ୍କାନଙ୍କର ବଡ ପୁଅ ହଉଛି ମାଲକମ। ଡୋନାଲ୍ଡ ବେନ୍ ହଉଛନ୍ତି ତାଙ୍କର ସାନ ପୁଅ। ବୁଝି ହଉଛି। ତାପରେ next things that comes up, we supposed to discuss this thing, that how Macbeth Macbeth is uh, arranged by Shakespeare in drama. ଏବେ ସେ କ୍ୟାରେକ୍ଟର ବିଷୟ ସବୁ ଜାଣିଗଲ ନା ନାଇଁ, ଯୋଉ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ କ୍ୟାରେକ୍ଟର୍ସ ଦ୍ୟାଟ वी डिस्कस, ବୁଝିହେଲା ନା ନାଇଁ? ହ୍ୟାଲୋ।
Yes, sir.
ହଁ, ଯୋଉ କ୍ୟାରେକ୍ଟର, ପ୍ରଥମ କ୍ୟାରେକ୍ଟର ହେଲା ମାକବେଥ ଦ ହିରୋ। ସେ ହଉଛନ୍ତି ସ୍କଟଲାଣ୍ଡର ମାନେ ମୁଖ୍ୟ ସେନାପତି ଏବଂ ତାଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ସହଯୋଗ ଦେବା ପାଇଁ ଅଛନ୍ତି ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କୋ, ସିଏ ମଧ୍ୟ ଜଣେ ସେନାପତି। ଏବଂ ମାକବେଥଙ୍କର ସ୍ତ୍ରୀଙ୍କ ନାଁ ହେଲା କଣ, ଲେଡି ମାକବେଥ। ଏବଂ ସେମାନେ ଯୁଦ୍ଧରେ ତାଙ୍କର ପାରଦର୍ଶିତା ପ୍ରଦର୍ଶନ କରିଥିବାରୁ ଡଙ୍କାନ ସ୍କଟଲାଣ୍ଡର ବୃଦ୍ଧ ରାଜା ମାକବେଥକୁ ମାନେ କଡର ଜାଗାର ତାକୁ ଥାନେ ବା ମୁଖ୍ୟ ଭାବରେ ଘୋଷଣା କରିଦେଇଛନ୍ତି। ଏବଂ ଏଇ ପରିପ୍ରେକ୍ଷୀରେ ତାଙ୍କ ବଡ ପୁଅ କୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ସେ କଣ ରାଜା କରିବା ପାଇଁ, ହଁ, ରାଜା କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଡିକ୍ଲେୟାର କରିଛନ୍ତି। ତାପରେ କିନ୍ତୁ ଏ ସମସ୍ତ ଘଟଣାର ଗୋଟେ ସୁଖପ୍ରଦ ସମୟର, ଯେତେବେଳେ ନରୱେ ସ୍କଟଲାଣ୍ଡକୁ ହରାଇ ଦେବା ପାଇଁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରୁଛି, ସେଇ ସମୟରେ ମାକବେଥଙ୍କର ଦକ୍ଷ ଯୁଦ୍ଧ କୌଶଳ ପ୍ରଦର୍ଶନରେ ନରୱେ ପରାସ୍ତ ହେଉଛି। ଏବଂ ସେ ପରାସ୍ତ ହବାର ଖବର ରାଜା ପାଇଲା ପରେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଯୁଦ୍ଧ କ୍ଷେତ୍ରକୁ ଆସିଲା ପୂର୍ବରୁ ସେ ଡିକ୍ଲେୟାର କରିଦେଇଛି। ଏମାନେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଯୁଦ୍ଧ କ୍ଷେତ୍ରକୁ ଫେରୁଛନ୍ତି, ସେତେବେଳେ ଝଡ଼ ହଉଛି, ବର୍ଷା ହଉଛି ଏବଂ ଏମିତି ଗୋଟେ ଖରାପ ପାଗରେ ସେ ଦେଖୁଛନ୍ତି ଶ୍ମଶାନ ଭିତରେ 3 ଜଣ ଡାଆଣୀ ବସିଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ସେମାନେ ଏମାନଙ୍କୁ ଦେଖି ମାନେ ହସୁଛନ୍ତି, ଥଟ୍ଟା ମଜା କରୁଛନ୍ତି। ଏମାନେ ତାଙ୍କ ପାଖକୁ ଯାଇ ପହଞ୍ଚିଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ସିଏ ତାକୁ କହିଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ଖୁବ ଶୀଘ୍ର ମାକବେଥ ଥାନେର ନା ଯୋଉ କଡରର ମୁଖ୍ୟ ହବାକୁ ଯାଉଛନ୍ତି, ରାଜା ତାକୁ ଡିକ୍ଲେୟାର କରିଦେଇଛନ୍ତି। ତାପରେ ଏମାନେ ଆସି ପହଞ୍ଚିକି ଶୁଣିଲା ଏକୁ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଥାନେ ଡିକ୍ଲେୟାର କରାହେଇଛି। ମାକବେଥ ଖୁସି ହେଉଛି ଏବଂ ସେ କହୁଛି ଯୋଉ ଡାଆଣୀ ମାନେ ମୋର ଫ୍ୟୁଚର ବିଷୟରେ କହିପାରିଲେ, ମୁଁ ଫ୍ୟୁଚରରେ କଣ ହେବି ସେ କଥା ବି ସେ କହିବେ। ପୁଣି ଥରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ତାଙ୍କ ପାଖକୁ ଯାଇଛନ୍ତି ପରବର୍ତ୍ତୀ ସମୟରେ, ସେ ଡାଆଣୀ ମାନେ ଆଉ ଥରେ ତାଙ୍କର ଭେଟ ହେଇଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ସେ ଡାଆଣୀ ମାନେ ତାଙ୍କୁ କହିଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ତମେ ମଧ୍ୟ ସ୍କଟଲାଣ୍ଡର ରାଜା ହବ। ମାକବେଥ ତା ସ୍ତ୍ରୀଙ୍କ ଆଗରେ, ଲେଡି ମାକବେଥ ଆଗରେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଏସବୁ କଥା କହୁଛି, ସେତେବେଳେ ତାଙ୍କ ସ୍ତ୍ରୀ ରାଣୀ ହବାର ମୋହ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଆଚ୍ଛନ୍ନ କରିଦେଉଛି। ମୋହଗ୍ରସ୍ତ ହେଇକି ସେ ରାଣୀ ହବା ପାଇଁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ସିଏ କେମିତି ରାଣୀ ହେବେ ଏବଂ ତାଙ୍କ ସ୍ୱାମୀ କେମିତି ରାଜା ହେବେ, ସେଥିପାଇଁ ତାକୁ ସବୁବେଳେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ମାନେ ପ୍ରମ୍ପଟିଂ କରୁଛି। କହୁଛି ଆମେ ରାଜାକୁ ମାରିଦବା, ଆମେ ଯାଇ ରାଜା ହବା, ନହେଲେ ହେଇପାରିବା ନାହିଁ। ତେଣୁ ଡାଆଣୀ ମାନେ ଯାହା କହିଛନ୍ତି ଏଟା ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଏ ଘଟଣା ଘଟିବ, ତେଣୁ ତମେ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ପ୍ରିପେୟାର୍ଡ ହୁଏ। ବୁଝିହଉଛି, ତାଙ୍କୁ ପ୍ରମ୍ପଟିଂ କରୁଛି। ତ ଦେଖ ଗୋଟେ ମାନେ ଚିଫ୍ ଆଡମିରାଲ ଜେନେରାଲ, ଗୋଟେ ମାନେ ଇଏ ରାଜ୍ୟର ଚିଫ୍ ଆଡମିରାଲ ଜେନେରାଲ, ସେ କେମିତି ଗୋଟେ ଭୂତ ପ୍ରେତ କଥାକୁ ବିଶ୍ୱାସ କରିକି କେମିତି ତା ଦେହରେ ପ୍ରଭାବିତ ହଉଛି, ଯେ ହାଉ ଦ ହ୍ୟୁମାନ ବିଙ୍ଗ ଆର୍ ଅଲୱେଜ ଇନଫ୍ଲୁଏନ୍ସଡ ବାଇ ସୁପର ନ୍ୟାଚୁରାଲ ଏଲିମେଣ୍ଟସ, ହାଉ ଦେ ବିଲିଭ୍ ଇନ୍ ପ୍ରୋଫେସି। ଏଇ ଭବିଷ୍ୟତ ହୁକୁମ ଫୁକୁମ କଥା ସେମାନେ କେମିତି ଔଷଧ ଗୁଣି ଗାରେଡି କଥା କେମିତି ସେମାନେ ବିଶ୍ୱାସ କରନ୍ତି, ସେ କଥାକୁ ଏଠି ସେକ୍ସପିୟର ଆମ ଆଗରେ ରଖିଛନ୍ତି। ଯେ ସେ ସମୟରେ ଲୋକମାନେ ଭୂତ ପ୍ରେତ ଉପରେ ବେଶୀ ଗୁରୁତ୍ୱ ଦଉଥିଲେ ଏବଂ ସେମାନେ ଭୂତ ପ୍ରେତ ମଣିଷ ମାନଙ୍କ ସୋସାଇଟିକୁ ଅନେକ ସମୟରେ ସେ ପ୍ରଭାବିତ କରନ୍ତି, ନିୟନ୍ତ୍ରଣ ମଧ୍ୟ କରନ୍ତି। So because this thing that we have also come upon in the play Macbeth, that such great personality, the man like great personality Macbeth, how could he believe the words of witches, and he carried out that words and statement of witches as truth, and he discussed this thing with his wife, and the anxiety of his wife increased, and she prompted Macbeth to kill the king, present king of Scotland, to become the king. So the conspiracy to kill the king is going on in between husband and wife. Okay. So when man commits one mistake, other mistake will follow one after another. And that happens in case of Macbeth. Okay. Then the next character that we find he is Duncan. And Duncan was also present with Macbeth. And he heard what the witches professed to Macbeth. And Duncan also asked to know about his future. And the witches declared Duncan was not going to be king of Scotland, but his descendants, his son, may be or might be the king of Scotland in future. So if Macbeth is going to be the king, then Macbeth would not like the son of Banquo Fleance to be the followers of Macbeth. So Macbeth thought if king is killed, the son of Duncan should be killed. And any man who comes before him to protect him or to expose him as the murderer, then he will be murdered. So this, you see, so ill got is ill spent. So the way you have earned money, in the same way that money will be spent. It is told, it is a proverb. So we find the same thing with Macbeth. Macbeth is committed one mistake, and the same mistake again that will continue, right? And what we find here, that the king, the king, uh, uh, when he won in the battle and found Macbeth was most skillful and adventurous admiral of his army. So, out of happiness, he declared, I must spend my night in the residence of Macbeth. You see. So, the old king was going to be defeated, but it was the skillness of Macbeth helped the king to win the battle. So out of that happiness, the king of Scotland is going to spend his night and arrange a party in the residence of his admiral Macbeth. So the king himself is creating a chance for Macbeth to do mischief against him. You see. So this is the situation. And the king, along with his two bodyguards, he came to celebrate the victory, So all the counselors, courtiers, they came to attend the same ceremony and observation, and it was taking place till late night. And in that late night, they uh, left the place after the function was over. All the people they had left the place. Now the king Duncan is taking rest in the residence of Macbeth. So Macbeth and Lady Macbeth, they are trying to kill the king. So the weapon that was kept beside the bed of King Dunkard, with that he is going to kill the king. Macbeth is going to kill the king, but he is coming back time and again. He cannot do that. ସେ ବାରମ୍ବାର ଯାଉଛି ତାକୁ ମର୍ଡର କରିବା ପାଇଁ, କିନ୍ତୁ ଫେରି ଆସୁଛି। କିନ୍ତୁ ଲେଡି ମ୍ୟାକବେଥ୍ ଦେଖୁଛି ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ୍ ଆନ୍ ଅପରଚ୍ୟୁନିଟି, and her husband with such heart, I think he could not marry, he could not kill the king. So she is taking that dragon and stabbing at the chest of Duncan. Okay, when Macbeth found his wife stabbed on the chest of the king, then he started to stab time and again, so that the king died. And two bodyguards, they were given they were given much wine to drink. So out of that wine, they had lost their sense. So during their sleep, Macbeth and Lady Macbeth, they also killed uh, one of them, and one was also sleeping there. And this time we found Macbeth is coming back to wash his hand in basin with water, and showing his hand, his wife is prompting, wash your hand, ଯେ ତମ ହାତ ଧୋଇ ପକା। ତାପରେ ମାକବେଥ କହୁଛି, ଏ ହାତରେ ଯେତିକି ଲହୁ ଲାଗିଛି, ରକ୍ତ ଲାଗିଛି, ଗୋଟେ ସମୁଦ୍ରର ପାଣି ବି ଏ ହାତର ରକ୍ତକୁ ଧୋଇ ଦେଇପାରିବ ନାହିଁ। You see, very intelligent dialogue, very creative dialogue. That's written by William Shakespeare. ଗୋଟେ ହାତରେ ଗୋଟେ ବିଶ୍ୱସ୍ତ ଲୋକକୁ ମାରିକି ତା ରକ୍ତରେ ଗାଧେଇଥିବା ହାତକୁ କୋଉ ସମୁଦ୍ର ପାଣି ଅଛି ଧୋଇ ଦେଇପାରିବ? That no ocean can wash out the blood of his hand. ଏବଂ ଲେଡି ମାକବେଥ ମଧ୍ୟ ଦେଖିକି ସେ ପାଗଳ ପରି ହେଉଛି ଏବଂ ଜବରଦସ୍ତ ହାତକୁ ନେଇକି ଧୋଇ ଦଉଛି କିଏ? ଲେଡି ମାକବେଥ। And when it became morning, this news spread everywhere, and still one of the bodyguards was sleeping senseless. And it was that Duncan Macduff, the nobleman of Scotland, arrived there. And when he got this news, he came with other nobles to see the situation. And when they came and knocked at the door, they found the king was dead, was killed, and the bodyguard sleeping beside him, senseless. So Macbeth also went rushing to see the situation, And in the presence of Macduff, he got angry that my dear king has been killed by this bodyguard. ତେଣୁ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ବଡିଗାର୍ଡ ତାକୁ ମାରି ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି। ତେଣୁ ସେ କଣ କରିଛି, ଯୋଉ ଡଙ୍କାନ ସେ ରକ୍ତାକ୍ତ ହେଇ ପଡିଥିଲା ଡ୍ରାଗନ, ସେଇଆକୁ ଆଣିକି ସାଙ୍ଗେ ସାଙ୍ଗେ ଦିଟା ତାଙ୍କୁ ଭୁସି ଦଉଛି। କାହାକୁ? ସେ ଯିଏ ବଞ୍ଚିଥିଲା ଗୋଟେ ତା ପେଟରେ ଭୁସିକି ତାକୁ ମାରି ଦଉଛି। So that he wanted to let others know that his dearest king was being killed by the bodyguards. So, as the loyal to the king, he got angry and out of control, he killed the bodyguards of the king. So, in presence of public, he killed the bodyguards to let others know that he was very much worried at the death of the king. So, this was the situation that we find. But this behavior of Macbeth was suspected by Macduff. Macduff suspected that was the residence of Macbeth, and the behavior of Macbeth, it's a very doubtful. If the king died, what was necessity to kill the bodyguards? It means that if the bodyguards were killed, then there will be no proof of the murderer. So Macduff interpreted the action of Macbeth in this way. So he left the place, and Macbeth, he found that Macduff is the only man who was suspecting the murder of the king, and he thought that action had certainly been made by Macbeth. So Macbeth also predicted this man became very doubtful and he must wait for revenge. Macbeth ଜାଣିଲା ଯେ ମୋ କାମକୁ ଇଏ ସସ୍ପେକ୍ଟ କଲା କିଏ? ମ୍ୟାକଡଫ୍। ତେଣୁ ତା ଉପରେ ସେ ଆଖି ରଖିଲା ଏବଂ ସେ କଣ କରୁଛି ନା ଗୋଟେ ପାର୍ଟିର ଆୟୋଜନ କରୁଛି ଏବଂ ସେ ପାର୍ଟିରେ ସେ ଦେଖୁଛି ତାର ସାଙ୍ଗ ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କୋ ଏବଂ କୁ ଇନଭାଇଟ୍ କରୁଛି। ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କୋ ମଧ୍ୟ ତାକୁ ସସ୍ପେକ୍ଟ କରୁଛି ଯୋଉ ରାଜାଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ମୃତ୍ୟୁ ହେଇଛି ତାକୁ ମାକବେଥ ଛଡା ଅନ୍ୟ କେହି ମାରି ନଥିବେ, କାରଣ ସେ ଯୋଉ ପ୍ରୋଫେସି, ସେ ଯୋଉ ଭବିଷ୍ୟବାଣୀ କରିଥିଲେ ଡାଣୀ ମାନେ, ତାଙ୍କରି ପାଇଁ ଇଏ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ମର୍ଡର କରିକି ନିଜେ ରାଜା ହେବାକୁ ଯାଉଛି। ଏବଂ ରାଜାଙ୍କର ମର୍ଡର ହେଲା ପରେ ଦେଶବାସୀ ସମସ୍ତେ ଯେ ମାକବେଥଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ମହାନତା ପାଇଁ ଯୋଉ ଜଣେ ଯୋଦ୍ଧାଙ୍କୁ ଏ ରାଜ୍ୟର ରାଜା ଭାବରେ ଅଭିଷେକ କରାଯିବା ଉଚିତ ଏବଂ ସେ ରାଜା ହେଇଛନ୍ତି। ରାଜା ହେଇଗଲା ପରେ, ଦେଶର ମୁଖ୍ୟ ହେଇଗଲା ପରେ ତାଙ୍କ ଅଣ୍ଡରେ ସବୁ ଯାକ ସୈନ୍ୟବାହିନୀ ସମସ୍ତେ ପଳେଇ ଆସିଲେ। ସିଏ ତାପରେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ସସ୍ପେକ୍ଟ କରୁଥିବା ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କୁ ନିଚ୍ଛିନ୍ନ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଆରମ୍ଭ କଲେ ଏବଂ ପାର୍ଟିର ଆୟୋଜନ କରୁଛନ୍ତି। ପାର୍ଟିର ଆୟୋଜନ କରିକି ନିମନ୍ତ୍ରଣ କରିଛନ୍ତି ଡଙ୍କାନକୁ, ତାପରେ ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କୋକୁ। ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କୋ ଏକୁଟିଆ ଆସୁନାହାନ୍ତି, ତାଙ୍କ ପୁଅକୁ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ନେଇକି ଫ୍ଲିଆନ୍ସକୁ ନେଇକି ଆସିଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ସେ ଗୋଟେ ମର୍ଡର ପାର୍ଟି ଯୋଉ ସୁପାରି କିଲର ମାନଙ୍କୁ ଭଡାରେ ଆଣିକି ରଖିଛନ୍ତି। ବାଟରେ ଯେ ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କୋ ଏବଂ ତାଙ୍କ ପୁଅକୁ ନିଶେଷ କରିବେ ଯେ ତାର କଣ୍ଟା ଶୂନ୍ୟ ହେଇଯିବ ଏବଂ ଯେତେ ପାର୍ଟି ଛାଡି ଲେଟ୍ ନାଇଟରେ ଫେରୁଛନ୍ତି କି ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କୋ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଫ୍ଲିଆନ୍ସ, ବାପ ପୁଅ ଫେରୁଛନ୍ତି, ସେଇ ସମୟରେ ସେ ସୁପାରି କିଲର ମାନେ ଆଟାକ୍ କରିଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କୋକୁ ମାରି ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି। ତାଙ୍କ ପୁଅ ଖସି ପଳେଇଛି ଆଉ ଫ୍ଲିଆନ୍ସକୁ ସେମାନେ ମାରି ପାରିନାହାନ୍ତି। ଏବଂ ଏ କଥା ଯେତେବେଳେ ମ୍ୟାକଡଫ୍ ଜାଣୁଛି ଯେ ଏ ମର୍ଡର ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ କରାଯାଇଛି, କାହାକୁ ମାନେ ଯୋଜନାବଦ୍ଧ ଭାବରେ ମାକବେଥ କରିଛି ଏବଂ ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ଏବଂ ତା ପୁଅକୁ ମାରିବାକୁ ଚାହିଁଛି। ଯାହା ହଉ ସେ ଫ୍ରିଆନ୍ସ ତାର ଖସି ପଳେଇଛି। ଏଇ ସମୟରେ ଡଙ୍କାନ ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କୁ ଯୋଗାଡ଼ କରୁଛି। ଡଙ୍କାନ ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କୁ ଯୋଗାଡ଼ କରୁଛି ଆ ବିରୁଦ୍ଧରେ ସ୍ୱର ମାନେ ଉତ୍ତୋଳନ କରିବା ପାଇଁ। ଏବଂ ରାଜାଙ୍କର ମର୍ଡର କଥା ଶୁଣିଲା ପରେ ତାଙ୍କ ପୁଅ ମାନେ ଦି ପୁଅ ସେ ଜାଗା ଛାଡିକି ପଳାଉଛନ୍ତି। କାରଣ ମାକବେଥ ଏ ଦିଟା ପୁଅକୁ ମାରିବାକୁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରିବ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ, ସେଥିପାଇଁ ସେ ଜାଗା ଛାଡିକି ପଳାଉଛନ୍ତି, ଅନ୍ୟ ରାଜ୍ୟକୁ ପଳାଉଛନ୍ତି। ଜୀବନ ରକ୍ଷା କରିବା ପାଇଁ ସେ ଛାଡିକି ପଳାଉଛନ୍ତି। ଦେଖିଲେ ରାଜା ଯେତେବେଳେ ମର୍ଡର ହେଲା, ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ ମର୍ଡରର ତାଙ୍କ ଉପରେ ଆଖି ରଖିବ ମର୍ଡର କରିବା ପାଇଁ। ତେଣୁ ସେମାନେ ଭୟରେ ପଳେଇଗଲେ। ତାପରେ ୟାକୁ ରାଜା ହବାକୁ ସୁବିଧା ହେଲା କାହାକୁ? ମାକବେଥକୁ। ଏବଂ ମାକବେଥ ରାଜା ହେଲା ପରେ ସେ ଜାଣିଲା ଯେ ଥ୍ରୀ ୱିଚେସଙ୍କ ପ୍ରୋଫେସି ସମୟରେ ବ୍ୟାଙ୍କ ୱାଜ ପ୍ରେଜେଣ୍ଟ ଦେୟାର and they also professed that his son Cleance will be the king in the future. So anticipating that, he thought that I must kill to Banco and his son, so that I will be uh, I will be the king without any enemy. So in this way, we find that Banco is killed and his son escaped out of attack. So all the situations were very strictly and minutely observed by Macduff. Macduff ତାକୁ କ'ଣ କରୁଛି ନା ସିଚୁଏସନକୁ ମାନେ ଅବଜର୍ଭ କରି ଜାଣିଦେଲା ଯେ ମ୍ୟାକବେଥ ଏ ସବୁ କାମ କରୁଛି। ତ ମ୍ୟାକଡଫ୍ ଏଇ କଥାକୁ ଡାଉଟ୍ କରିବା ସମୟରେ ଏବଂ ଲୋକମାନଙ୍କୁ ସଂଗଠିତ କରିବା ସମୟରେ ମ୍ୟାକବେଥ ପୁଣି ଥରେ ଯାଇଛି ୱିଚ୍ ମାନଙ୍କ ପାଖକୁ ଯେ ମୋର ଭବିଷ୍ୟତର ମୁଁ କାହା ହାତରେ ମରିବି, ମା ମତେ କିଏ ମାନେ ମୋର ଶେଷ କୋଉଠି ହବ। ତାପରେ ତାକୁ ଥ୍ରୀ ୱିଚେସ୍ କହୁଛନ୍ତି, ଦେଖ ଯେ ତମକୁ ମାରିବ ସେଇ ଲୋକ ଯୋଉ ଲୋକ କୁ ଗୋଟେ ନାରୀ ଜନ୍ମ ଦେଇନଥିବ। ଏବଂ ତମେ ଦେଖିବ ସ୍କଟଲାଣ୍ଡର ସେ ଜଙ୍ଗଲ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆପେ ଆପେ ମାନେ ଚାଲିକି ଆସିକି ତମ ରାଜପ୍ରସାଦ ପାଖରେ ପହଞ୍ଚିବ, ତମେ ଜାଣିବ ତମ ମୃତ୍ୟୁ ପାଖେଇ ଆସୁଛି। ଏବଂ ସେ ଜଙ୍ଗଲ ଭିତରେ ଯିଏ ଥିବେ, ସେମାନେ ତାଙ୍କ ଭିତରୁ ଜଣେ ଥିବ ଯିଏ କୌଣସି ନାରୀ ପାଖରୁ ଜନ୍ମ ହେଇନଥିବ। ତେଣୁ ମାକବେଥ ଖୁସିରେ ଆତ୍ମହରା ହେଇଯାଉଛି ଯେ ସତରେ କ'ଣ ଜଙ୍ଗଲ ଚାଲିକି ଆସିବ, ନା ସତରେ କୌଣସି ପୁରୁଷ ନାରୀ ଠାରୁ ଜନ୍ମ ହୋଇନାହିଁ। ଏ କଥା ଚିନ୍ତା କରିବା ସମୟରେ ତାର ଚାଲିଛି ଏବଂ ସିଏ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଡାଉଟ୍ କରୁଛି ମ୍ୟାକଡଫକୁ, ମ୍ୟାକଡଫର ପରିବାର ଏବଂ ମ୍ୟାକଡଫ ସହିତ ସବୁ ତାକୁ ମାରିଦେବାକୁ ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରିଛି। ଏଇ ସମୟରେ ମ୍ୟାକଡଫ କ'ଣ କରିଛି, ଚେଷ୍ଟା କରୁଛି ଖସିକି ଯିବା ପାଇଁ, ପଳେଇବା ପାଇଁ। ଏବଂ ଖସିକି ଯିବା ପୂର୍ବରୁ ତାର ଯୋଉ ଗୁଣ୍ଡା ମାନେ ତାକୁ ମାରି ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି, ତା ଫ୍ୟାମିଲି ଏବଂ ତା ପୁଅକୁ, ତା ସ୍ତ୍ରୀ ଏବଂ ତା ପୁଅକୁ ମାରି ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି। ଏବଂ ଇଏ ମ୍ୟାକଡଫ ଖସି ପଳେଇଛି। ସିଏ ଯାଇକି ରହି ବାହାର ରାଜ୍ୟରେ ରହି ମାନେ ତାଙ୍କ ଡୋନାଲ୍ଡ ବେଲକୁ ଧରି ଡଙ୍କାନଙ୍କର ଏଲ୍ଡର ସନକୁ ମାନେ ଧରି ସେମାନେ ଯୁଦ୍ଧ ସଂଗଠିତ କରି ଆସ୍ତେ ଆସ୍ତେ ମାନେ ବୁଦା ଭିତରେ ରହିକି ମାନେ ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ମଣିଷ ତାଙ୍କ ଚାରିକର ଗଛ ଫଛ ସବୁ ବାନ୍ଧେଇକି ଜଙ୍ଗଲ ବୁଦା ବାଇଆ କରିଦେଇଛନ୍ତି। ଏବଂ ତା ଦେହରେ ସବୁ ସମସ୍ତେ ଆସ୍ତେ 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 ଆସି ରାଜପ୍ରସାଦ ପାଖରେ ପହଞ୍ଚିଛନ୍ତି। ଏବଂ ମ୍ୟାକଡଫ ଇଏ କଥା ଦେଖିଲା ପରେ ତାପରେ ମ୍ୟାକବେଥ ତାର ସୈନ୍ୟବାହିନୀ ନେଇକି ଯାଇଛି। ସୈନ୍ୟବାହିନୀ ନେଇକି ଯୁଦ୍ଧ କରିଛି ଏବଂ ମ୍ୟାକଡଫ ସେଇଠି ତାକୁ ମ୍ୟାକବେଥକୁ କହୁଛି ଯେ now you are in my front, you are the culprit, then you must be killed, then the elder son of the king Dunkard will be the king. ତାପରେ ମ୍ୟାକବେଥ ହସୁଛି, କହିଲା ମତେ ମାରିବା ଲୋକଟିଏ ଏପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ପୃଥିବୀରେ ଜନ୍ମ ହେଇନାହିଁ। କୌଣସି ପୁରୁଷ ନାରୀ ପାଖରୁ ଜନ୍ମ ହେଇନଥିବା ଲୋକଟିଏ ଏପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଏ ପୃଥିବୀକୁ ଆସିନି। ତାପରେ ମ୍ୟାକଡଫ କହୁଛି ଯେ ମୁଁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଜନ୍ମ ହେଲି ସେତେବେଳେ ମୋ ମା ମତେ ଜନ୍ମ କରିନାହାନ୍ତି, ମତେ ସିଜରିଂ କରିକି ଜନ୍ମ କରାହେଇଛି। ତେଣୁ ମୋ ମା ମତେ କୌଣସି ନାରୀ ମତେ ଜନ୍ମ ଦେଇନାହିଁ। ଇଟ୍ ୱାଜ ଡକ୍ଟର ହୁ ବ୍ରଟ୍ ମି out from the womb of my mother. So I am the same person that I will take revenge against you. And he killed Macbeth. ଏବଂ ମାକବେଥ୍ ଏ କଥା ଯେତେବେଳେ ଦେଖୁଛି ସେତେବେଳେ ସେ କ'ଣ କରୁଛି ନା ନିଜେ ଷ୍ଟାବିଂ କରୁଛି, ନିଜେ ନିଜକୁ ଷ୍ଟାବିଂ କରୁଛି ଏବଂ ତାକୁ ମଧ୍ୟ ମ୍ୟାକବେଥ୍ ଆକ୍ରମଣ କରି ତାକୁ ମାନେ ଶେଷ କରିଛି। ଏବଂ ଏଇଠି ବହି ଏଣ୍ଡ ହେଉଛି, ବୁଝି ହେଉଛି ନା ନାହିଁ। ଏବଂ କୋଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଆସୁଛି ଯେ ଦିସ୍ ଇଜ୍ ହାଉ ଦିସ୍ ସର୍ଟସ୍ ଅଫ୍ ଥିଙ୍ଗସ୍ ଦ୍ୟାଟ୍ କେମ୍ ଇନ୍ ଟୁ ବିଙ୍ଗ, that scissoring process it was started in present time, but Shakespeare was born in 1564 and died in 1616. How the process was taking place in that time? Actually, scissoring process was existing during that time. So, because the modern science that we have discovered in the present time, it has not surpassed the technique of medicine of the past time. So, lot of incurable diseases were recovered. Actually, the Ayurvedic process was there, and the scissoring process was also existing during that time. And that Macduff was born in scissoring, but he was not born uh, in by natural process. So, that prophecy of the witches that came to true. Okay. So, my point is that. So, all the situations that took place here, we find that how the prophecy and foretelling of the witches came true. And the next thing, we find how uh, uh, at the till the end of the book, we find everything is taking place as per the advice and for the as per the professing of the witches. So it means that human being is beyond control of himself. So human being is controlled by fate. Human being is controlled by prophecy. So actually, Greek tragedy that gives importance on fate, but Shakespeare's writing is giving importance on character. That fate is destiny, destiny is fate, and this is the difference between Greek drama and Shakespeare's drama. Shakespeare's in his drama he gives importance on characters. The character is destiny. The things that we do, the action that we make, that is the fate of a human being. But Greek tragedy depend upon that the human being is controlled by fate. So human being uh, do not do anything, and the action being done by human being that is being controlled by the fate. So this thing is this is the belief of Greek tragedy, but William Shakespeare has opposed that, and he declared ଯେ ମଣିଷ ଯୋଉ କାମ କରିବ ସେ କର୍ମ ଅନୁସାରେ ମଣିଷ ଫଳ ପାଏ। ତେଣୁ ଗ୍ରୀକ୍ ଟ୍ରାଜେଡି କହୁଥିବା କଥାକୁ ସେ ବିଶ୍ୱାସ କରନ୍ତି ନାହିଁ, ବୁଝି ହେଉଛି ନା। ତେଣୁ this is the drama Macbeth, and we find that this is the thing that we find with Macbeth. So actually very hurriedly we discuss the character and situations and the story. I let you know that how the situations taking place, who are the important characters, and what is the theme of this drama, and how this drama was ended tragically because the hero died. Hero is lost, and when the hero lost, it was tragic death of hero. So for that thing we say it is a tragedy, and the king was killed on the stage, and this is a tragedy. The man who had a deep faith upon the admiral, the same person killed him. The same persons conspired against him. So this is misfate of a person, and this type of things that we find in William Shakespeare's drama. Okay, Similarly, if you take example of Hamlet, you will find that Hamlet is also being controlled by the ghost of his father. You see, if you talk about King Lear, then you find the wrong decision of King Lear is uh, uh, put him in problem. Okay, then uh, uh, if you talk about Othello, the same thing that takes place. Always a prophecy, a supernatural element that always put the characters in problems. Okay, Julius Caesar. If you take example of Julius Caesar, another tragedy of William Shakespeare, as Julius Caesar was very deep, uh, there's physical infirmity. So the person, the deep person, if he becomes the king of a state, all the people of the country will suffer for the deformity of the king. So this type of uh, very conservative attitude uh, or the supernatural elements and the god and goddesses, phantoms, ghosts, they are placed and given much importance in the drama of William Shakespeare. The same thing we find in Macbeth. Macbeth was a good person. He was taken into the custody of witch, whatever they told, and Macbeth followed that things. Had they not professed, then Macbeth would not kill the drunkard, the king drunkard. So actually, all this thing was being made by the witches, the supernatural elements. So for that reason, we should know that the action made by human being, so the human being beat his fate in future. ତେଣୁ ମଣିଷ ଯୋଉ କାମ କରେ ତାର ପରିଣାମ ସେ ଭୋଗେ। ତେଣୁ ୱିଲିୟମ ସେକ୍ସପିୟରଙ୍କ ଡ୍ରାମା ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଆଲୋଚନା କରୁ ସେତେବେଳେ ସେ କହନ୍ତି ଯେ ମଣିଷର କର୍ମ ହିଁ ତାର ଭାଗ୍ୟ। କିନ୍ତୁ ଗ୍ରୀକର ଡ୍ରାମାକୁ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ପଢୁ ଗ୍ରୀକର ନାଟକ ମାନେ କହନ୍ତି ଯେ ମଣିଷ ସବୁବେଳେ ତା ଭାଗ୍ୟ ଦ୍ୱାରା ନିୟନ୍ତ୍ରିତ ହେଇଥାଏ। ମଣିଷ ସବୁ ସମୟରେ ତାର ଭାଗ୍ୟ ଦ୍ୱାରା ନିୟନ୍ତ୍ରିତ ହେଇଥାଏ। ମଣିଷ ହାତରେ କିଛି ନଥାଏ। କିନ୍ତୁ ତାକୁ ସେକ୍ସପିୟର ବିରୋଧ କରିକି ନୂଆ ପ୍ରକାର ଡ୍ରାମା ସେ ରଚନା କରୁଛନ୍ତି। ପିଲାମାନେ ସବୁ ଗଲେଣି, ଏବେ ଆମେ ଯିବା ନା କଣ କହୁଛ? ହ୍ୟାଲୋ
हाँ सर।
ହ୍ୟାଲୋ, ଏସବୁ ତ ଗଲେଣି, ଲେଫ୍ଟ ହେଇଗଲେଣି ସବୁ।
ହଁ ଜଛି ଭାଇ,
ହଁ ଭାଇ,
ୱାଇଣ୍ଡ ଅପ୍ କରିବା ନା କଣ କହୁଛନ୍ତି?
ହଁ ୱାଇଣ୍ଡ ଅପ୍ କରିବା। ଆଉ ସେ ତ ପିଲା କଣ ଲେଫ୍ଟ ହେଇଗଲେଣି କିଛି।
ଠିକ ଅଛି, ଠିକ ଅଛି, ହଉ ଭାଇ।
ହଁ।